We just concluded an investigation into the special nuclear materials at the Lawrence Livermore lab. We find them undersecured and that they are being stored there unnecessarily. On March 19th, the NNSA, the National Nuclear Security Administration, will be holding public hearings in Livermore, California. And they will be telling the public that they will remove special nuclear materials, which is plutonium and highly enriched uranium, from the site at the end of 2012. And POGO believes that that is needlessly too long.
Okay, Department of Energy sites, nuclear weapons sites, are required to meet, in 2008, required to meet the 2005 DBT, which is about 2/3 or 3/4 of the number of attackers on 9/11. And what happened is that there are certain sites, and particularly Lawrence Livermore, that cannot meet that threshold, and so they've gotten a waiver. And the General Accounting Office was told last year, late in the year, that they were going to meet that. And it turns out in a meeting that we had in February with top NNSA officials, they admitted that Livermore wasn't going to be able to meet that. And in other words, they're only meeting half of the threshold that the rest of the sites have to meet, and half of the number of attackers in 9/11.
The problem with Livermore is that it is in the middle of a neighborhood. When the Lawrence Livermore Lab was established in 1952, it was at a naval air base that was in the middle of nowhere. There was no suburbs out of San Francisco at that time, and it was in an isolated area. And more than 50 years later, there's been a population that's sprung up around the lab, many of them lab employees, and this makes securing the special nuclear material at the lab difficult because the guard force needs high-powered weapons to repel a terrorist threat.
The concern, the Gatling gun is an enormously lethal weapon. It fires 4,000 rounds a minute and can kill up to 2 miles. And in the beginning, several years ago, we were into this issue of security at Livermore, and it turned out that that they couldn't have the kind of weapons that they have at the other sites. In other words, machine guns that can lay down a lot of fire, because these attackers are going to come, with smoke and all of that, so you can't even tell where the hell they are, and you've got to lay down a huge amount of fire. Couldn't do that because of the encroachment of the neighborhood. Now all of a sudden in the last year, they've decided that, hey, we're giving up with the hell with the neighbors, and we're going to deploy Gatling guns here.
We believe the material could be removed by the beginning of 2009, and our sources in the Office of Secure Transport at NNSA say there's ample transportation resources to get the material out, and we've also traveled to facilities within the NNSA complex that are empty now and could hold the special nuclear material in a more secure environment. So we're recommending that the material be removed immediately and transferred to a more secure site. And we're asking Congress to look into what the current missions are for plutonium at the site to see if there really is a national security mission for the use of plutonium. And if there is, then the Livermore scientists can continue their work, but they would need to make a 1-hour trip to the device assembly facility at the Nevada test site. And that's, again, an isolated remote area that can secure the site. But that the special nuclear material will no longer be housed at Lawrence Livermore.